Well, guys, today is the day. Today is the day that we get to hear from one of your own.
Chase!
A man I very much love with all my heart. Guys, would you welcome Chase Blanchard up here? We're gonna get started.
Chase.
I'm gonna get you something to put your notes on.
Please.
I will. Check it out, guys. It's Chase Blanchard here. He's here, man. That's awesome. You guys, I just want to say something real quick about Chase that I think a lot of you guys do know, but some of you guys might not. Chase is probably the craziest, wildest, nuttiest guys you'll ever meet. But beneath all of that surface, beneath all of that we love about Chase, there's something so much deeper. Something so amazing that God has done within his heart. And I remember when I met him for the first time a couple of years ago, and I saw this kid, and I saw right through him. I mean, that's not a bad thing to say, because I loved your personality, but I saw something within him. I saw a light and something that just wanted to come out, and I've seen that grow over the last couple of years, and it's just been, incredible to see the man that Chase has become, and as he's moving forward into this next part of his life. And so I'm going to just pray for Chase, and then you guys are going to be able to hear from this man right here. So, you ready, man? Yeah?
Scared.
Come on, is there anything to be scared about? You guys are all friendly and nice, right? Come on, you guys want to hear from Chase. All right, here we go, let me pray. God, we're praying a lot, and I love that. I love that our service is filled with prayer, that it's just constantly being lifted up to you, God. Your word says that we should pray continually, and so may this even community that we have be a reflection of that. God, I lift up my brother Chase. I know you're going to do amazing things with him. God, speak through him today. May your spirit just move in powerful ways. Praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Perfect. All right, so I think this mic's on, right? I don't know. I can't really tell. That's what I sound like with a mic on, I guess. But perfect. I'm pretty sure the mic's turned my ear into a piece of cauliflower, so
Looks like.
hopefully I can hear you guys. All right. So wow. I didn't think I would be up here ever. If you had told me this a year ago, I'd be up here teaching. I'd kind of laughed at you and been really concerned who had to die to have that happen. But in all seriousness, I'm really stoked to be sharing what God has put on my heart this morning to share with you guys. So let's get started. So how's everybody doing? Good? Good? Alright, sweet. Alright, so school's coming to an end, so finals. Anybody taking their finals yet? AP kids? Of course. Yeah, I'm in AP classes too. Yeah, so anybody scared about finals? Anybody? Yeah, I know I am, because I actually am not in AP classes, I still take finals. So. But any other seniors out there? Seniors, raise your hand. Seniors, yeah. So for me, I don't know about you guys, but it feels like everything's coming to an end, in these last few weeks. It's everything you do, they're putting in the don't forget this is your last emphasis on everything. So you go to prom, this is your last one, make sure you have fun, because you'll never do it again. So it's they like to put that on everything. I'm alright, thanks for the reminder, but whatever. I don't know, I just thinking back on all the memories though, just at high school, and even though it was only really the last 4 years, it went by so fast. I don't know about you guys, but it's just this weird sentimental mood, what just happened kind of. But I mean, just the memories I've had with my family, the memories I have with my family, friends, and even my leaders here at church. There's memories I've had here. It's crazy to think. And yeah, just one of the stories I'm gonna be sharing today is actually right up there on that lawn, just right here at church. I mean, I wish it wasn't there, but anyways. So how many of you guys heard the verse, 1 Corinthians 15:33, bad company corrupts good morals? Anybody? All right, sweet. So it just basically means that who you hang out with, right, affects who you're acting, how you're acting. And I don't know about you guys, but I have a wide variety of friends, believers, non-believers, different ethnicities, religions and stuff, and genders. But I've always had my core of uplifting group of friends, some here today. I'm you guys are out there. But I don't know, there's some people that are not my faith and are different from me. My dad is always reminding me to be a thermometer, but not a thermostat. So like what does a thermometer do, right? It like kind of reads the room and like gives the temperature of the room. It kind of just duplicates what's in the room and puts it into numbers. It doesn't actually change the room temperature like a thermostat. So if your room's hot, you're going to use a thermostat to change the temperature. A thermometer is not doing that. It's just reading the temperature. So that basically means, like in those friend groups, you want to control that temperature. You want to control that group and guide them the way you want to be and not be in a bad group, you know? God's calling us to be a thermostat and always, like, don't follow the crowd. Don't let it bring you down, you know? Jesus calls us to be lights, so it's important for us to, as believers, to be lights at our schools and friend groups. But we're all not perfect, and God knows that. And like I'm going to be sharing today, I was reminiscing on some of my old high school memories, and I remember one not so great memory right up there on that lawn on Pursuit. I was at my cousin's house, and we were bored one night. It was like the day after 4th of July, and we had just got, the day before on 4th of July, we go to my dad's friend's house who has like a bunch of crazy fireworks. Like, he literally goes to Mexico and like buys fireworks for like Vegas or whatever, buys thousands of dollars of fireworks, and it's just crazy. And so he let us actually, I don't know if this is a good decision, but let us control that. So he let us be in charge of that all the day of 4th of July. So July 5th, we're all like, all right, let's make more fireworks. So we're at home and we're like thinking about it, and we're just like, wow, this was a great time. You know, really wish it was 4th of July all over again. And my older cousin brought home 2 older college friends of hers, and they were hearing us talk, and we like started talking, discussing, kind of making like, essentially like, it's like not a pipe bomb, but it's like a bottle bomb. It's not as gnarly as a pipe bomb, but it still, you know, makes a boom. And you know, I mean, like, we were like, all right, this could work, but, you know, there's some things that are good homemade, like cookies, brownies, stuff like that, but there's some things that are just best kept from the factory, I guess, and bought from the store, not made at home, and like fireworks is definitely one of those things. So, long story short, we like watched a bunch of videos, got all the ingredients together, and since there was going to be a big boom, we drove out of the neighborhood right up there and went right there on the top of the hill and went right under the light pole, and we started shaking up because you basically put like a bunch of chemicals in a bottle, shake it up, and then it's supposed to heat up and then blow up eventually. So the first time we figured we didn't have enough tin foil, because that's kind of what seemed like to be the problem. So it didn't work. We were like, this is not getting hot. So we went back to the house and we'll try it again. And you know, we're all like, I'm a minor at this time, and like we're all like, me and my older cousin even is still like, he's only becoming to be a junior, so we're still like minors, so we're still like have a curfew, and we're kind of tired at the time, but you know, we're kind of into the idea because, you know, fireworks. But anyways, we go back, and this time we don't have enough Drano, so we go back out there, try again, it doesn't work. And then we go back and to the house, and we're all kind of tired, like me and my cousin trying to start to sleep on the couch, and then, you know, the 2 older guys had their licenses, so they're like, you know, let's go drive and buy more chemicals and like try to do this right. And we're like, all right, I guess, like, we'll go, we're good. It's starting to get late now, so we go to CVS just down the street, buy the all-new Drano, all-new tinfoil, and we come back, and this time it's in a big bottle, like really big, and so we all put on the ingredients in there, start shaking it up, and then the older guy's finally goes, dude, it's actually heating up this time, like, because like the other times, I'm pretty sure it was like, the bottle actually got colder, but like this time, it was actually working. So we're all like touching it to make sure, like, it's actually working more, guys, like, and then like right after that, boom, 3 cop cars just screaming down the hill, like at least going in their 40s, coming right down at us, and like it wasn't anybody else in the street. We just casually walked onto the sidewalk with their heads down with a bottle of Drano and tinfoil, and like that's completely normal to do at 2 in the morning. And obviously they're like, that's them, so they pull up and they get us stopped on the curb, and you know, we get down and sit down on the curb, handcuff us, and you know, never been handcuffed, not the greatest feeling in the world, so getting handcuffed, They then pat us down on the hoods of their cars. I'm like, am I on cops right now? You know, like, and they're like patting us down, and they put us in the back of the car. I'm like half asleep. Me and my cousin are scared out of our minds, but we're like, what's going on? Like, we're in the back of the car, we sit down, and they actually put me in the cop car with my younger cousin, and we're both like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, we're in the back of the cop car right now. We're just getting arrested. And sure enough, they actually flare off the street at the bottom near St. Mary's and at the top near the other elderly home. So all the elderly people are like, what's going on down here? But after a while, it's like 3 hours have passed, and they've defused the bomb. They literally said they defused the bomb, which was a bottle bomb, but still they defused it. And sure enough, they call my aunt and my mom to come pick us up, and you know, we got a very deserved scolding from my mom and my aunt, because it was just stupid. It was a really stupid decision to be doing that at like, what, it was like 2 in the morning or something. But it turns out it's actually a federal offense to build a bomb, and since this is considered a bomb, me and my cousins had the great opportunity to go the next morning, no sleep, to the sheriff's station and talk about how the ticket was going to be assigned. And me and my cousins and the two older guys were both like all very respectful to the police the night before. Like, it could have gone a different way, but they actually gave me and my cousins, because we were minors, the option to do the Pride program, which is like kind of like essentially a way to write off the ticket off your record, so you don't have it on your record when you turn 18. So we went in and talked to the lady. She turned out to be really nice, but I was like in an interrogation room, and she talked to me and told me she'd let me do the program, which is actually 25 hours of community service, and we had to also write like a paper on something that I kind of forgot. It's probably like about why not to build a bomb, I'm sure. But like after that, I was like kind of like relieved that God did give me grace in that at least, but still, I mean, hefty 25 hours of community service. I actually did a lot of them here and got to meet some cool people, but it was still 25 hours. Better than a $1,000 ticket though, right? Okay? After a while, it was kind of like a hard time after that to win back my trust from my parents and my aunt and uncle. You know, it was kind of a hard time. My life was not fun and games for that summer. I can tell you that till the end of the summer. It was all Chases upstairs doing whatever, it wasn't any homework, but stuff like that, you know? But I guess the question that I have to ask myself was, what was it that really like intrigued me to do that? What was made me vulnerable at that time, you know, to be like, yeah, sure, let's build a bomb. Like, was it idleness? Like, was I bored? Like David and Bathsheba, when David was on the roof and he was like supposed to be fighting in a major battle for Israel, and he was like looking down at some other girl's wife, like getting steamy glasses, you know? Is it something like that? Or was it like Lot, when he chose Sodom and Gomorrah over anywhere else, like with Abraham when they were choosing their lands, because it was lush and green, but really he knew that Sodom and Gomorrah was only filled with sin. Or was it like blind determination, like I was so determined to do this, like where Samson was so determined to like in blindly in love with Delilah, he got to the point where she literally cut off his hair, and he lost all of his God-given strength. And I'm not physically attracted to explosives like Samson was to Delilah, but I was determined enough to go to CVS at 12 in the morning. So I mean, it's kind of the same thing. The Bible says in Proverbs 14:12, there's a way that seems to be right to man, which is sin, but in the end leads to death. So you guys might be saying, how does my friendships, Chase, and the company that I keep have to do with sin and seasonal pleasure, you know? Is it a sin to have friends? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the company you keep does say a lot about you and very much affects your walk. I have another story that's actually kind of even crazier. I mean, I wasn't directly involved with this one, but my friend Matt, I was driving in his car. We were going to Saddleback Lanes for the night, and it was just kind of a late night. I had nothing doing down Saddleback Lanes. And in another car, my friend Jake was driving, and he had my other two kind of close friends, not too close, Phil and Josh. Me and Matt drove separately from Jake because Jake was driving. Jake actually had a lot going for him. He was going to be in the Marines later on, had all lined up for himself, you know, and was very close. It was very close in the future for him getting sent off, actually. I think it was like in the next month. So he was a very clean kid, in other words. So this was like kind of just a fun thing to do at night, but I mean, he wasn't involved with anything bad, really, because, you know, the Marines take that stuff very seriously. It turns out we all drove down to Saddleback Lanes, and Josh and Phil really didn't tell Jake about this, but they actually brought marijuana and their bong in the car without telling him. And when they got to the Saddleback Lanes, we all went inside. And when we came in, I went in with my friend Matt, and turns out the Saddleback Lanes offer, because we only went because it was a deal, turns out it didn't work out. So we went back outside, and Phil and Josh had actually been walking around, and a police car actually followed him back to Jake's car. And Jake was still in the car, and it was his car. And Phil and Josh had the marijuana and the equipment, I guess, in the back of the car. And when the police came to search over to follow him back to the car, they expected them of being drunk, which Phil or Josh weren't drunk. They just were being loud. But them being stupid, they got the cops' attention. They came over and ended up just flashing the light in the car. But I mean, probable cause gives the law enforcement reason to search any car if they see anything in the car that they think is something, you know, sketchy. So they thought they saw something in the car, and sure enough, searched Jake's car, and found the marijuana and the bong. So Phil and Josh wouldn't fess up for it, though. They would not fess up for the marijuana or the piece. So Jake was in California. If no one fesses up to the narcotics in the car, whatever it is, the driver of the car actually gets penalized with it. And Jake was like just about to get shipped off to the Marines. And he didn't choose to have the stuff in the car. He just kind of said yes, why not, or he didn't really even know about it. But when he was already on his way, Phil and Josh kind of just told him, and he didn't really decide to kick him out. He just let them do their own thing. But it ended up making Jake really pay the penalty, because the cop was about to, in fact, pin the whole thing on Jake, which would have ruined his career with the Marines. It would have ruined it. And Phil and Josh were going to get away with it. But ended up coming down to it. Jake kind of got really angry and basically called out Phil and Josh in front of the cops, and basically destroyed that friendship. That friendship that Phil, Josh, and Jake had now is ruined because something as stupid as that. But Jake had to do what he had to do to not get in trouble with Marines, and the cops actually found out that it was Phil and Josh's marijuana. So the Bible says in 2 Corinthians 6:14, "Do not be yoked together with unbelievers, for what does righteousness and wickedness have in common? Or what fellowship can light have with darkness?" And just thinking about that in nature, does light mix with darkness? No, it doesn't. They're opposed. They're the same thing in the spiritual realm as well. So the Bible tells us clearly not to be investing in unevenly yoked relationships. It's only going to bring us down as believers. So do you guys know the ladder analogy? So if someone's on a ladder, right? The person on the ladder, and there's a person on the ground, right? It's easier for the person on the ladder to pull the person on the ground up, or it's easier for the person on the ground to pull the person on the ladder down. I mean, obviously, the person on the ground to pull the person on the ladder off. Same thing. It's kind of a perfect illustration. Like, we're trying to go up this ladder, right, to get to heaven, have a relationship with God, but there's going to be people who don't feel the same way, or who aren't exactly believers, that maybe aren't necessarily trying to pull you down, but just naturally do. St. Francis says in a quote that Satan has access to the domain of darkness, but he can only occupy those areas where mankind through sin has allowed him. So does that make you kind of feel guilty, right? Like thinking the only way sin enters my life is because at some point you said yes to it, right? Like either indirectly or directly you allowed it into your life, knowing it only to be like poison basically to your walk with the Lord. And it's kind of weird to think about that. Like everything sinful you do is because of you. I mean, obviously, but because God's perfect, right? The Holy Spirit's inside of you, but He's perfect, and everything you're doing that's sinful is all because of you, you know? Sin only leads to death, and my dad always says sin leads to sadness, but if we live a life that's pleasing to the Lord, or live in the pursuit of holiness, we can live a truly happy and joyful life. So, I mean, it's not harmful to have a lot of friends, all shapes and sizes, but it's important to have true core fellowship and find uplifting friends who are going to bring you guys up. Like I said, I have a lot of friends here that bring me up, and I know I need them in my life. But Proverbs 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." And guys, it's not hard. It's not hard to find friends, whether it's at school or you can come here at church. It makes it really easy. You find a small group, and you're immediately open to about 6 or 7 other guys or girls that are in similar relations with you, or like similar faith to you, which is great. It's a great opportunity to come to small groups on Wednesdays, which is now over. But next year, come on over. But there are plenty of ways to find similarly based friends, and God will make them known to you. I promise you that, because I know I have a lot of friends that I need in my life to keep me up when I need them, to keep me accountable. Just in fact, one way I get kept accountable is by Michael, who's not here today. He's in Colorado. He left me, but me and him actually keep accountable on a lot of things. And on Mondays, we actually text each other how each other are doing in temptation, which is like a really cool thing that we kind of set up last year. And it actually really helps me because, I can't do it on my own, let alone do it on my own without God. But I mean, it also helps to have fellow friendships and fellowship with other believers that can help you bring up your walk. Because, guys, you could try to do it on your own, but it's a lot easier to do with friends. So, he keeps me accountable in that way. And I also have a thing I just started with my dad, with his older friend, Mark Boyer. He's one of my dad's older friends from high school. He started this thing called the Playbook. It's essentially you take a verse on Monday and you literally read that verse every day for the whole week, Monday through Sunday. And it's 15 brief little sentences, or 15 little passages, and you read through that. And by the time it gets to Sunday, every day you say "read" every time you read it. It's not a lot to do, but it definitely helps, and it's good to get in Scripture at least a little bit every day. So it's just nice to have that, And there's powers in numbers, The more brothers and sisters in Christ you have and lock arms with, the bigger evangelical force you're creating just by doing that, So go out in confidence, because, like it says in Romans 8:31. If our God is for us, who could be against us, right? It's that cool idea, So when guys are trying to take it to the next level, relationally, sexually, that's messed up, that's past your boundaries. That's bad company, Bad company corrupts good morals. Guys, when you're out with your friends and they're or teammates, and they're starting to do stupid stuff, whether it be drinking or doing drugs or shoplifting, whatever it is, I don't know. It's bad company. You don't want to be involved with that, okay? And the only relationships that are going to truly further your walk with the Lord are those who are similarly interlinked with the Lord like you. So, can I pray for us? Dear Lord, thank you for giving me this opportunity today and not making me choke too bad up here. I pray for everyone in this room. They'll just find good friends that will keep them up, because I know a lot of people in this room do have really good friends, but they will keep them up. But I just pray that for the people who don't, that they'll just find some good fellowship and some groups that will help them get through these next 4 years in high school, because it's so important to have that, You can't do it on your own, like I said. And God, I know that with you can do all things through Christ who strengthens, but honestly, it also helps to have friends along the way down here on earth. So I pray that for each and every one of these people, they just have a hedge of protection around themselves and protect themselves from these stupid influences and dumb things the world has put in people's lives. And I pray for people who need to be lights in these groups that maybe they're not going to be so much friends with, but at least leave a good message for them to show them what it is truly like to walk a good walk with the Lord. And I pray this name in Jesus' name, amen.